Welcome to A Man's Point of View. I am your host, Mike. Today, it's going to be a little bit different today. Today I'm going to specifically talk about us older guys and relationship, but more specifically, age gap dating. As they would say, skirt, stop the press. Now, before I get started, feel free for those of you guys who are watching it on the network or social media to either text me or call in because this is a different show today. It's almost like a testimony versus a TV show. I guess about 4 years ago is when I guess I can say made a conscious decision that I would do age gap dating. But one of the things I want to do today is we're going to cover at least 4 questions that I have gotten asked in the past couple of years. We're going to talk about how many people ask her, do I treat her like a father figure or do I go into father figure mode? That's one question I'm going to talk about. The second one I'm going to talk about is my children's reaction. When my kiddos found out I'm dating someone younger than them, what was their response? Third, what I'm going to do is my homeboys or my male friends, their little ridicule or suggestion between dating a young girl that you have to train and dating an older woman who comes with, as their words say, luggage or baggage. And then lastly, adjusting to the mentality or mindset. So those are going to be the 4 questions that we're going to discuss today. But before we, get to that, let's talk about age gap. Quite often when you hear age gap, you mostly think about younger women with sugar daddies. And I'm not sure how that terminology came about, but what I am going to say, age gap dating is light years different than when you're talking about a younger woman with a sugar daddy. And I'm going to say, my producer bobbing her head back there, so she agree. Because I know from personal experience, I had a couple of young ladies who worked with me. They was, one of my employees, a couple of my employees, and they was dating an older guy. So when he came to visit them, I think the word I used was, whoa, because the guy was pretty much old enough to be their grandfather, much alone their dad. And my question was, what is your benefit in dating an older guy? And of course, I had various answers, but the most common answer most of the young ladies gave was, he takes care of the bills. He pays the rent. He keeps me dressed, mostly material. And then, of course, me being as nosy as I am, I asked, well, what about when he want extracurricular activity? Sex. Oh, that don't take too long. So I'm like, wow. So then I started questioning, as a sugar daddy, what exactly do most sugar daddies get out of dating younger women? So again, nosy Mike asked, and I walked up to old school, hey, got a quick question for you, bro. I said, you're dating these young girls. Dude, what do you get out of it? And more than not, most of them said, oh, I got the little arm candy, or was it arm candy producer? Arm candy, she's bobbing, okay. Arm candy. Well, duh, I didn't know what that was either. So I had to go find out what arm candy. Long story short, they basically just like having a young girl on their arm so the public can see them as being cool, I guess, or whatever. And with that, I'm like, I don't know. I don't want that, picture or that perception because, well, I can't say why because I just thought about why I really said it. So I'm not going to tell you my thoughts. But if you inbox me, I'll share it with you personally. But with that, I think that's where the sugar daddy persona or stigma came about when you see older men with younger women. For me, personally speaking, and for those who know me, my age gap is 29 years? 29 years. And with that, for those who know me, my youngest boy, 32. So my baby boy is older than my age gap dating. Now, I'm going to let that marinate for a minute, then I'm going to repeat it. My baby boy, age 32, is older than my age gap dating. And with that, I think the first time he said that, he's like, hey, Pops, what's up with that? You know? And it was interesting because, oh, producer's handing me something. I have a question. Whoa. Who's this question? I can't even see the question. That's that age gap eyes and all. So, do you agree with age gap relationship that are 10 plus years? Yep. Well, you know what? Let me answer this differently. I was watching a show earlier, and the lady said her definition of age gap was 7 years. Then I started thinking, well, what do you call 10 years, 20 years, or 30 years? So I don't agree or disagree. I think it's a personal preference. Personally, I think, like in my case, it's 29 years different. And I think the biggest issue I had with age gap was basically I had to decide, do I want to go into knowing a 40-plus-year-old woman who's been married and raised a family automatically know things, whereas an under 30 woman who's finishing college and getting her career started, never had children, is a little bit different. That's a whole different arena because she's never been married. She's never had to deal with the ups and downs of children and relationship. So I think it's one of those deals that when I went into it, I had to decide if I was okay in doing that. Well, Beverly, I can't say in age gap you grow apart. Oh, and by the way, the first question was Kia. Hey, Kia, I hope I said your name right. Beverly, I don't know. I think growing apart in age gap, speaking personally, we did not. I think as time went along and I went in consciously knowing there are certain things I had to be mindful of, it actually pulled us together, and it took me as an old man syndrome for being so serious to where I kind of joked around a little bit more. I played a little bit more. Now, I never changed my music because that I ain't gonna do. Oh, you and your husband are 20 years? Wow, you should, if you can't produce it, pop up the number, 214-454-0929. I would love to hear about your age gap with your husband, Beverly, if you want to call in, 214-454-0929. But I think in my case, and Kia, I see your question. I'm going to read it in just a second. I need to put my glasses on. I think in my case, I went into it, and before we even got into a relationship, I told her I'm very aware that it's going to take you about 3 years to get to the point to where we are comfortable in knowing each other. So I went in knowing for the first 3 years there was going to be some, I think I call them learning curves. I call them learning curves. Yeah, I call them learning curves because it's such a huge gap. There are things I've completely forgot about in a relationship, whereas she has to learn. So Kia, do you think in some cases older men take advantage of dating younger women because of the facts the age gap is the man? Yeah, that's what I was talking about earlier with the sugar daddies. I think some sugar daddies, well, you know what? I'm going to rephrase that because I know some sugar daddies are abusive and controlling. So you are right. I think some guys who are older men dating young women, and I say this very respectfully, have inner self-confidence issues. And I say that very tenderly, but I'm going to put that out there for right now. And if any guys disagree with me, hit me up and I'll respond to your specific detail being asked. And also, I think some of the older men take on that father figure persona too much, that the younger person don't know anything and they become more controlling and domineering. That's one of the things that I wanted to cover in that. I said the number too fast, Beverly. 214-454-0929. And I think for me, knowing that I had a 3-year learning curve, I think I conditioned myself. It made me much more patient. But being an older man, I have what I call a three statement rule. Once I say or do something 3 times, then pretty much the iron fist across the board comes out. And I think that was a huge learning curve for when we started because of course in all dating, the first 6 months is a lot of fun. Then after 6 months, you get to the core of the dating. And I think that's when our issues begun, because even though I enjoyed our relationship, that life commandment or golden rule of, well, I said it 3 times, my goodness, started to kick in more and more. And I think that was one of the challenges we had. But again, if you ladies want to call in and personally talk about your situation, 214-454-0929. I just got queued up that I have to take a commercial break. But when I come back, I'm going to answer one of my questions and continue to answer you ladies' questions as well. You're watching A Man's Point of View, and we're talking about age gap dating. We'll be right back in 1 minute.
No gimmicks, no fake, stupid conversations. Just real talk and real help from a real lawyer. If you've been injured in a car accident, I'm sure you're worried about transportation, medical bills, lost wages, and getting real compensation for your pain and suffering. I'm attorney Roderick White, and if you want real answers to your car wreck questions and real help with your car wreck problems, call me at 214 or 817, I got you.
Okay, you missed it. Scroll up. Up,
No,
up, up.
go down.
No, down, down,
Ooh,
down.
I want to watch
down.
the one where the guy says, Stella! Hey, Stella!
I wish I could search for it like that.
With Dish, you can. Stop scrolling and just tell the remote.
Here's looking at you, kid.
That was cool.
I'll get you, my pretty, and your little dog, too.
Whoa!
That was awesome.
The new Dish voice remote. Stop scrolling. Just say what you want, and it's on. Dish, tuned into you.
Welcome back to A Man's Point in View. I am your host, Mike. Today we're talking about age gap dating, and I got 2 very lovely ladies that's sharing the show with me. So thank you, ladies. You get the grand prize. Me answer the question. Okay, I quit. Okay, that's my joke for today. But hey, before we left, we was talking about your question, Kia. But I like your other question. You seems to attract older men. Now, I'm going to personalize this answer and give you my personal opinion on the attraction. Quite often, and the first thing as an older man we like is drama-free. So apparently, maybe you carry yourself to where you're more mature. You don't carry a lot of drama or bring drama around men or things of that nature. Producer, hold on. A Man's Point of View. Hey, Beverly, I'm going to put you on hold for 2 seconds. I'm going to finish answering this question. Okay. And I think with that, most older men like that. Plus, physically, I mean, apparently you take care of yourself and things like that. So if I were to say if you're attracting more older men, that means you're giving off something more maturity, and physically you're doing something different than your age people. And for that, more men probably say, okay, I like that. And plus, you're probably in the area where more older men are. But call in if you want to. We can talk about it more. But now I have Beverly. Hey, Beverly, this is Mike. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can.
Okay, well, thank you for calling in. And first of all, how you been doing?
I'm not doing good.
Good. It's been a while. I've been following you on Facebook. Then I kind of disappeared off Facebook for a while, and I think I just recently got back up. I got tired of the drama. Every time you look around, someone on Facebook is doing something drama. So I'm like, okay, let me just leave for a while and come back.
Oh, okay. No, I was just scrolling and I saw it and I said, ooh,
Yeah, I mean it's kind of interesting though, huh?
There's a big age gap between me and my husband.
So you said it's 20 years?
We're kind of like breaking up.
Oh, you say it's 20 years between y'all?
It's 20 years between us. I have a son that's 23. Okay, and there's 20-year gap between us. And when I say you gotta grow apart, we gotta grow apart, you know. And then not just that, but you know, with the little, sometimes they have these health problems, you know.
Right.
And my husband fell in that category. My husband had a stroke in his brain, and he has dementia. And this is what I'm saying: getting involved with these older men, and I tend to draw older men too. And I'm like, they're much older than myself.
So what do you credit older men being attracted to you? I mean, in your personal opinion, why do you feel older men migrate to you?
I don't know. I really don't know. But they're either older or they're married. I don't know. I really don't. I wish I knew.
Well, I'm gonna share a little bit with you. I'm gonna share a little bit with you. In most of your pictures on social media, if you notice, most of your pictures are serious.
What?
Most of your pictures on social media is serious.
A serious look?
Yeah, you don't smile as much. You're not. You know what I'm saying? They're not joking. Most of your pictures are like professional, serious looks, and maybe that's what's attracting them.
Well, maybe I need to start laughing. On some of my pictures, I am smiling, but I've been going through some little things, so maybe that's what's showing on my pictures. But no, that's why I say,
Yeah.
older men.
Also, you're sophisticated. You're very sophisticated, and being a sophisticated woman who is also an entrepreneur that has a serious look. I mean, I'm just profiling here, you know.
Okay. Are you telling me that for older men? Are you also telling me that for married men? Because married men seem to float this way too, and you know, I explain that way.
Well, if I had to assume about a married man, their perception would be drama free. She's mature enough to handle me flirting with her and or having an affair with her if I can get that far. But she's not. Oh my God. She's not a dramatic person, so I don't have to worry about her hitting me up with my wife and all of that. I mean, if I had to profile it like that, now it must be pretty close.
I don't know. I mean, you kind of scared me here.
You know, and like I was saying earlier, as an older man, what I like most about my gap dating was I'd never seen a situation where she had any drama. That caught my attention. Number two, she was mature for her age around me. Now, granted, when she went out partying with her friends and things of that nature, I wasn't there. But when she came around me, it was.
I don't party.
Right.
I don't party, but I have had men tell me, well, you're easy to talk to. You know, you don't argue.
Right.
You know, you let me talk, and you don't. You know, I hear that a lot, but that's about it.
Well, see, in being someone like myself, over 50, I'm over 50. Actually, I'm 56 years old, and the main thing I value is a great conversation and little stress.
Right.
And if I'm around a female and I'm single and she's a great conversationalist and she's yet to bring in the stress around me, I'm not going to say I'm going to start trying to date her, but I welcome her company more. And maybe that's what that is. You know, I don't know for sure. That's just my personal assessment. But if you think about as you get older, you dislike drama more and you like a peace of mind better. Plus, you have acquired so much knowledge over the years to exchange knowledge and conversation. That within itself is what some people call a mental foreplay.
Okay.
So perhaps that's what you are oozing to those gentlemen when you're going to banquets or events. I don't know. That's just my personal opinion. But that's just the mic opinion. That's a man's point of view.
You're making me laugh.
See there? Now, watch your social media blow up now. You know? So, and it's something you may want to look at because that may be what it is. You never know.
Well, so now I got to start smiling more. Maybe they'll kind of.
There you go. And then the married men will go away slowly, and I'm gonna quit that. Stop. But I was about to say something there. I was cracking a joke. I'm gonna leave it at that.
Well, I missed that one.
Yeah, I was mumbling, but too funny. But I got another caller coming in. So keep listening. Let's hear what the other caller has to say. And take care. It's good talking with you.
Thanks a lot.
All right. Bye-bye. All righty. Very interesting. And I got a chance to be Psychology Mike, too, also, you know. After 20 years of being a mediator, I guess I gave some typical advice. But I know, Kia, you had hit me up and said you wanted to call in. So feel free that you can call in as well. But and one thing I also want to talk about with that, and I think her name is Shirkita. Well, Miss Millerton, thank you for watching also. Hold on. Where does that question go? One of the things I was talking about was the reaction of my male friends. It was very interesting that one of the research I was doing, one of the guys told his buddies. And Kia, if you want to call in, the number is 214-454-0929. Feel free to call in whenever you get ready. But one of my research I was doing, one of the guys said, one of his buddies asked him, why is he dating a young woman? And how could he do that to his children? And I had to play that little snitbit one more time. And I was like, whoa, what did he mean? Why is he doing that to his children? Then I stepped back and I start thinking, I guess if I go to a family gathering and I bring in a young lady who's younger than my baby boy, I guess my kids will feel some kind of way. Let's just process that for a minute. What is this Stephanie? Stephen definitely dislike drama or any. Oh, absolutely. That's that immaturity side. Yeah, definitely agree with you on that. So with that, I started thinking maybe that's what some of the guys are talking about. When they are hating or ridiculing their friends who choose to get into a relationship with a younger woman. So with that, you have to start thinking, other people have their own perception of why you're dating someone. Now, if you're like me, I can't say I don't care what they think, I do, but I don't allow their opinion to influence my decisions unless it's life or health threatening. So with that, would you tell him I had a commercial break coming up? Oh. So with that, I was thinking about a few other things. If you are in, and I think I just got sick and I got 4 minutes before the show is over. If you are in a situation where you're male or female and you're in an age gap dating, here's my personal opinion. Strictly mine. Enjoy. There's a reason why if you're an older man, you made that decision. There's a reason why if you're a younger woman, you granted that decision. Now, with that, tomorrow is not promised. So enjoy your relationships. Make the best of it. Granted, and I say this with all due respect, but I say it myself, as an older guy, my tomorrow is not promised. So I always try to think, if I leave tonight, did I do anything to make her smile today? And if you can look yourself in the mirror and say that, then you're doing good. Who's this? Friends, hey, just glad to see you joining. But with that also, be mindful. If you're an older guy and you're dating a younger woman, there is a huge learning curve you has to be patient with. But if you're an older woman dating a younger guy, there's a lot of maturity you're going to have to deal with. Because, of course, men's mature slower anyway. And now you're dealing with a much younger man who still has to mature. So be mindful of that. So with that, I kind of wanted to go over that with this show, with my personal opinion. And as you can see, I even planted some seeds in my old age. So I really got some conversation coming with that. Maybe that's another show. But everybody that tuned in, I want to say thank you. And feel free to inbox me if you want to sit down and we have a part 2 to this show. And we actually all get on the platform and have some, as they would say, some conversation about this. So with that, I'm going to close with these remarks. All relationship requires not 50-50, but 100 and 100. In order to be happy in any relationship, you always have to be growing and you always have to be willing to forgive. Now, it may not happen overnight, but it is something you have to consciously be mindful of and do. Now, with that being said, as an older guy with a younger lady, I also had to increase my patience because what seems obvious to me is perhaps new to her. And with that, that allotted me time to really take the time, and I'm not going to say teach her, but to show her what makes this works for us. And okay, Kia, inbox me. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate you watching. Any further or extended questions or a continuation of this, feel free to inbox me and we can really go off into it. And how much time I got, producer? I don't. Okay. Well, you've been watching A Man's Point of View here live on DFTV Network and Facebook Live. Tune in next week, and my next week's show is, neither one of us look. I think next week's show is about the violence on black men or something like that, or either that or abortion from a man's point of view. But anyway, I'll put it out there, or abortion from a man's point of view. And that's a good one, because you think about whoever asks a man about an abortion and really listen. But anyway, you've been watching A Man's Point of View. I am your host, Mike, and I will see all of y'all next week. Take care now.